On the intern's first day at the company, all along, Liu Ruyan, who only drank coffee I brewed by hand, was suddenly drinking an iced Americano from Mixue instead. When she messaged me to download a shopping app and help the intern cut the price, I knew this marriage was over. I am a well-known photographer in the industry. A few days ago, I learned my wife had cheated on me, but I did not immediately make a scene, because I did not want the relationship I once cherished to end in such an ugly mess. Today is our second wedding anniversary. I arranged everything in advance, ready to spend one final anniversary with my wife. At least our love would have a proper ending. But Liu Ruyan had clearly forgotten the date. She brought the company's intern to my private studio for photos. Watching Liu Ruyan walk in, laughing and chatting with Song Qian, my heart ached. What a happy little family they made. Chu Ci, come take some pictures for us. Today is Song Qian's 20th birthday. Make them look good. Work overtime if you have to. And edit them before today is over. I want to post them tonight. She said those hurtful words as if they were perfectly natural. I put away the movie tickets I had prepared for tonight. Then I said flatly, forget the photos. You came at the right time. Liu Ruyan, let's get divorced. Liu Ruyan's face turned cold. It was supposed to be a happy day. What are you sulking about now? So, in her eyes, was I just a spoiled young master who threw tantrums for no reason? I am not making a scene. I just think we have reached the end of the road. Let's part on good terms. Let us each keep some dignity. Song Qian put on a pitiful expression. Brother Chu, if it is too difficult for you, forget it. There is no need to threaten President Liu with divorce. As he spoke, he turned to Liu Ruyan and tugged at her sleeve. President Liu, maybe we should not take the photos after all. Perhaps Liu Ruyan felt I had embarrassed her. She gave me a cold glance. All I asked was for you to take a photo of me and my godbrother. Is that really so difficult for you? Is this not what you do for a living? Her unreasonable rebuke cut deeply. I stared steadily at her. Do you remember what day it is? My question caught Liu Ruyan off guard. Her expression changed as she began to think. Song Qian lowered his head beside her, his voice barely a whisper. President Liu, maybe we should forget it. Today must be an important day for Brother Chu. It is only my 20th birthday. I will be fine. There is no need to let me affect you. At once, Liu Ruyan comforted him with a pained expression. What important day could it be? No matter what it is not more important than your birthday. Then she turned and stared at me. I do not care what day it is. Take a sister and brother portrait of us first. Looking at this stranger she had become, I could no longer remain calm. I turned and walked away. I am sorry. I am not feeling well today. You should find someone else. Brother Chu, do not mind him. It is not as though there are no other photographers. We can just find another one. That afternoon, I met with a lawyer and drafted the divorce agreement. We discussed the division of assets in detail. As I looked at the freshly printed agreement, the densely packed clauses made me suddenly remember how we first met 5 years ago. By then, I had already made a name for myself in photography, while Liu Ruyan had only just begun running a small advertising agency. Once, while preparing for an outdoor shoot, I went scouting alone and accidentally sprained my ankle. Liu Ruyan happened to pass by and kindly took me to the hospital. That was how we exchanged contact information. Later, when I learned she owned an advertising agency, to repay her kindness, I shot several client advertisements for her free of charge. Because of that, her company began to take off. Outside of work, she began pursuing me. At first, I did not feel much for her, but over time, her sincerity and thoughtfulness won me over. After I agreed to be with her, I publicly announced I was joining her company. Her company's standing in the industry rose rapidly, and it flourished. Then, 2 years ago, we held a lavish wedding. Afterward, she always doted on me. Apart from our troubled sex life, everything was good. But now, it had all been an illusion. Just as I sank into those memories, my phone suddenly chimed. A message from Liu Ruyan pulled me back to reality. Chu Ci, hurry and download Pinwo Duo to help Song Qian cut the price. I opened the link and laughed bitterly in anger. She wanted me to help him get free condoms. Mr. Chu, please look over this agreement first. Also, may I ask, since you have ample proof that Ms. Liu cheated during the marriage, why not seek the largest possible share of her assets? You have a strong chance of winning. The lawyer's question came from across the table. No, divide everything as in a standard divorce. A lawsuit would drag on for a long time. I do not want any more entanglements with her. The lawyer said nothing more. Once we had settled the details, I took the divorce agreement home alone, waiting for Liu Ruyan to return so I could confront her. But Liu Ruyan never came home that night. She only called me in a rush, claiming she had an unexpected business trip. But I knew the truth. She had simply gone to the cozy love nest she shared with Song Qian. Sure enough, she soon posted a birthday video to her social feed. Maybe she forgot to hide it from me. Or maybe she simply did not care. Thinking about it now, perhaps from the very beginning, I was only a stepping stone for her career. My reputation opened doors for her. My resources brought her company back from the brink. And now that she no longer needed me, she discarded me just like that. When Liu Ruyan came home the next morning, she sat on the couch, rubbing her temples, and as if nothing had happened, told me to brew her coffee. That was when I remembered. That aloof, extremely picky chief executive officer had always drunk only the expensive coffee I brewed by hand. When I loved her, I even became a certified advanced barista just for her. But on Song Qian's first day at the company, he treated the whole company to milk tea. To my shock, I saw Liu Ruyan drinking an iced Americano from Mixue too. At the time, I thought she was merely curious why such cheap milk tea was so popular. It turned out everything had already changed without a sound. I did not hesitate any longer. I took out the divorce agreement and placed it before her. Sign it. Set us both free. Liu Ruyan glanced at the document on the table. Her face showed displeasure. What is wrong with you now? Did I not tell you to make me coffee? I have a morning meeting soon. Can you stop wasting my time? I know everything. A flicker of panic crossed her face, but she quickly calmed down and explained coolly. Oh, that? Song Qian is an orphan. He grew up without affection. I only wanted him to feel the warmth of a home, at the cost of destroying ours. Warmth for both his body and his soul. I gave a bitter, broken laugh. Her lips parted, but she could not say a word. I stared at her coldly. Just sign it. Can you stop being so unreasonable? You want to divorce me over something this trivial. I am so disappointed in you. With that, she slammed the door and left. I looked at the closed door, and instead felt a trace of relief. That is right. Even she could not find a reasonable excuse for her own behavior. What was there left for me to say? That afternoon, I drove to the company, planning to hand over my work properly and resign. But when I arrived, I found all my belongings had been cleared out and carelessly dumped outside the office. I walked into the office confused, only to find that my former director's office had become Song Qian's office. I gave a cold laugh. I should have seen this coming. Song Qian was a struggling college student Liu Ruyan had begun supporting 2 years ago. Her career had been on the rise then. She said doing good deeds would preserve her good fortune. I did not think much of it. After graduating, Song Qian joined Liu Ruyan's company as an intern. She thoughtfully arranged his food, clothing, housing, and travel. Ms. Liu was always aloof before others, yet she was endlessly gentle with Song Qian. Once, during a meeting, Song Qian burst straight through the door. Liu Ruyan had been ready to get angry, but when she saw it was Song Qian, her expression softened at once. She asked what was wrong. Song Qian tearfully said a potato chip had cut his finger. Without a word, Liu Ruyan canceled the meeting and took him to the hospital. When I returned from a business trip and heard about it, I told Liu Ruyan how unhappy I was. Liu Ruyan, are you not caring a little too much about Song Qian? Anyone who did not know better would think he was your husband. Seriously, we have been married for years, and you are jealous over something so petty. You are being incredibly small-minded. I told you, Song Qian is an orphan. What is wrong with caring about him a little? Do you have no compassion at all? Her barrage of accusations left me at a loss for words. Then she slammed the door and walked out. I took a deep breath. I still wanted to talk things through with her, but as I reached her office door, I saw Liu Ruyan sitting in Song Qian's lap through the crack. Ruyan, when are you divorcing Chu Ci? I have been waiting so long. Hearing that, I could not hold back any longer and shoved the door open. No need to wait. We can divorce right now. As I walked over, I pulled the divorce agreement from my bag and threw it onto the desk before them. When she saw me enter, Liu Ruyan froze briefly. An uneasy look flashed across her face, but she eventually stood up. She glanced at the divorce agreement on the desk, her brow tightly furrowed. Why are you here? Were you not done making a scene at home? Liu Ruyan, I am not joking with you. I am serious about divorcing you. As for why I came here, I originally came to work. Now, I might as well resign. I glanced at Song Qian. There is no place for me in this company anyway. Even my office is no longer mine. Liu Ruyan explained coldly. Song Qian said the open office was too noisy to work in, and you are rarely at the company. He is only borrowing your office for now. This afternoon, I will have someone clear out the storage room, and you can move in there. Hearing that charitable tone, I laughed in anger. Do not trouble yourself. It would be easier to resign outright and sign the divorce agreement soon. That way, I will not disturb your happy little family of 3. Seeing that I was not joking, a flicker of emotion crossed Liu Ruyan's face. Sensing it, Song Qian stepped forward and berated me. Brother Chu, you usually threaten Ruyan into giving in like this. Don't you think acting like this in public shows no regard for a woman's dignity? He paused, then continued. Besides, the company is doing very well now. Your threat to resign will not have any effect at all. Liu Ruyan's pride was stung, and her face hardened. Fine, divorce me then, just don't regret it. As Liu Ruyan signed her name, a triumphant smile finally curled Song Qian's lips. Early the next morning, we met outside the civil affairs office. Neither of us said a word. In the end, we signed the papers and went our separate ways. After the divorce, I received my share of the assets without trouble. I even received an extra villa. My lawyer said she had offered it as compensation. Life had to go on. I could not bring myself to abandon the photography I loved. After taking a few days off, I pulled myself together and went back to running my private studio as usual. One day, an old acquaintance I had not seen in years came to the studio. It was my high school classmate, Shen Youchu. She brought a little girl who was about to turn 5 to have birthday photos taken. She recognized me right away, too. I had my assistant take the girl to choose a photo style, then sat down with Shen Youchu to catch up. As we talked, I learned she was now the owner of an affordable luxury brand company. That is impressive, Miss Shen. You will have to send some business your old classmates' way. Of course. From now on, our company's promotional posters, event photos, and the like are all yours. We went on to reminisce about our school days. Then she looked at me a little awkwardly. Back in high school, I even slipped love letters into your drawer. But you never responded. As she said it, she laughed, as if laughing at how timid she had been then. I froze for a moment. Thinking carefully, I realized I did not remember receiving any love letters. That stunned her too. She thought about it for a while, then suddenly understood. No wonder. After that, the girl who sat behind you always avoided me whenever she saw me. She kept telling me she was not interested in women. I was so nervous that I put the letters in her desk instead. I burst out laughing. Then I looked at her and asked, "Where is your husband? Why didn't he come for his daughter's birthday photos?" She looked thoroughly startled. You misunderstood. I am not married. She is my niece. Her name is Xiao. Then her expression turned sad. My brother and sister-in-law died in a car accident years ago. Xiao was all they left behind. So Xiao lives with me now. I looked at Xiao, smiling happily, and felt my nose sting. I am sorry for your loss. Raising a child alone cannot be easy. She gave me a bright smile. It is all right. Xiao is very well behaved. What about you? Are you married? My smile faded. I simply said, I just got divorced. I am sorry. I did not know. After that, we both fell silent. Just as Shen Youchu was about to speak, my assistant came over with Xiao and said she had made her choice. I took Xiao and began the photo shoot. Shen Youchu simply watched me quietly from the side. By the time we finished, it was already late. Shen Youchu looked at me without blinking. How about I treat you to dinner? To thank you for taking Xiaoman's pictures. How could I let you do that? If anyone is treating, it should be me. I should thank you for supporting my business. Sometimes fate is just that unreasonable. When I arrived at the restaurant in Shen Youchu's car, we happened to run into Liu Ruyan and Song Qian, who had just finished dinner. When Song Qian saw me with Shen Youchu and Xiao, he immediately began mocking me. Brother Chu, you found a replacement so quickly? And she is a divorcee with a kid. Buy one, get one free. Not a bad deal. Ha ha ha. Liu Ruyan's face darkened. She glared at me, furious. Who is she? I found her reaction completely ridiculous. What does this have to do with you? Ms. Liu, have you forgotten that we're divorced? Why don't you worry about yourself and your husband? Stop snapping at people over nothing. Song Qian was livid, but I had no intention of letting him off. Are homewreckers always this arrogant once they take someone else's place? Song Qian's face flushed red. He was about to lash out at me. But Shen Youchu, who had likely figured out what was going on, stepped forward and shielded me behind her. I was taken aback. Liu Ruyan's face grew even darker. Shen Youchu took out a business card and handed it over, politely introducing herself. My name is Shen Youchu. I was Chu Ci's high school classmate. Liu Ruyan took the card with a resentful look, but one glance left her stunned. Seeing that, Song Qian leaned over to read it too. A look of realization crossed his face. He sneered at me. Oh, she owns a company, too. You two were probably fooling around long ago. And that is why you divorced Sister Ruyan, right? Shen Youchu's expression instantly turned grim. Liu Ruyan, still stunned, hurriedly covered Song Qian's mouth. Then she turned to Shen Youchu, looking deeply apologetic, and said, I am so sorry. Ms. Shen. He clearly didn't brush his teeth before leaving today. His breath reeks. Please do not take it to heart. I will make sure to set him straight when we get home. I was still surprised by Liu Ruyan's reaction, when she shot Song Qian a vicious glare, then spoke politely to Shen Youchu. I never expected to run into you here, Miss Shen. What a coincidence. It turns out we mistook one of our own. I am currently discussing a partnership with your company. I am Liu Ruyan, owner of Mingyue Company. This is all a misunderstanding. Shen Youchu stared at her coldly. Is this the level of professionalism your company has? It seems our partnership needs to be reconsidered. Liu Ruyan's face changed dramatically. She immediately slapped Song Qian. Then she shouted at him. Apologize to Ms. Shen, now. Song Qian said timidly. I am sorry. Ms. Shen. Please be merciful, and let me off. Shen Youchu still did not seem satisfied. Her expression remained icy. After hesitating for a moment, Liu Ruyan finally understood. You also need to apologize to Mr. Chu. Song Qian glared at me resentfully. Through gritted teeth. I am sorry, Mr. Chu. When Shen Youchu remained unmoved, Liu Ruyan turned to me for help. Chu Ci, since you left, our company has already lost several major clients. This partnership with Ms. Shen is truly very important to us. For the sake of what we once had, please put in a good word for me. I cut her off directly. What we had? What exactly did we have? The bond of you cheating on me and deceiving me during our marriage. Liu Ruyan went deathly pale. That company was once your life's work, too. Can you really bear to watch it fail? That company has nothing to do with me anymore. Besides, you think far too highly of me. How could I possibly influence the decision of such a large company? With that, I took Shen Youchu and Xiao inside. I completely ignored Liu Ruyan calling after me. As Liu Ruyan and Song Qian's heated argument erupted behind me, I felt no satisfaction. Instead, I felt a little sad. I had actually lost to a man like him. After dinner, Shen Youchu drove me home. Later, I heard she had turned down the partnership with Liu Ruyan's company. After that incident, Mingyue Advertising was hit even harder. Many longtime employees thought the company was finished and jumped ship. Her company could only stay afloat on small advertising jobs. But by then, hearing this news barely stirred any emotion in me. Ever since we reunited that day, Shen Youchu often found excuses to ask me out. Sometimes for dinner, sometimes for a hike, or to take Xiao to an amusement park. I knew how she felt about me, but after being hurt so badly, all I could do was pretend not to understand. She never rushed me. We simply shared an unspoken understanding. One day, Shen Youchu had an unexpected meeting and asked me to pick Xiao up from kindergarten. I had nothing else to do, so I agreed. While I waited outside the kindergarten for Xiao, I unexpectedly saw Song Qian. He had clearly seen me too. He strode toward me. Before he even reached me, his shrill, cutting voice arrived first. Well, if it isn't Brother Chu. What is this? You are here to pick up a kid? Is it that little girl from before? I told you that you had latched onto a rich woman. You would not admit it before, but now you are even picking up her child. His loud voice instantly drew the attention of every parent nearby. They all looked eager to watch the drama unfold. When I did not react, he put on an even smugger expression. You have no idea. Ruyan has been treating me better and better lately. Whenever she has time, she takes me traveling. A few days ago was just our simple 2-year anniversary of being together. Yet she insisted on buying me a watch worth tens of thousands. She said we needed to make it special. I do not really get it. When she was with you, she could not even remember your wedding anniversary, could she? Looking at that smug face of his, I wanted to plant my shoe print right on it, but I held myself back. I merely sneered and said, but I hear your company has not been doing so well lately. It can only survive on small advertising jobs now. Just some friendly advice. You should probably save your money. He was about to argue back, when a young voice sounded behind him. Mister, you are blocking my way. Song Qian blankly stepped aside. Behind him stood a little boy and Xiao. They came over to me. The little boy said sweetly, "Handsome big brother. I am Xiao's good friend, Lin Chenze." I looked at him warmly. "Hello, little Chenze. Thank you for being such a good friend to Xiao." Song Qian instantly blew up. He loudly demanded of Lin Chenze, "Hey, kid, why do you call me Mister, but call him Big Brother? Can you not see that I am younger than him?" Lin Chenze looked at him innocently. "But this big brother looks younger than you to me." I burst out laughing. Then I mocked Song Qian. "You are a grown man, yet you are arguing with a child. How petty can you be?" The parents around us began pointing and whispering about him. Some even chimed in. "Exactly. Kids just speak their minds." Song Qian's face turned purple with rage. He spun around and hurried away. I took Xiao back to Shen Youchu's villa. Shen Youchu's mother insisted that I stay for dinner. I could not refuse her warm hospitality, so I accepted. When Shen Youchu came home that evening, Xiao ran to complain that Song Qian had bullied me. Shen Youchu quietly glanced at me. "Do not worry. I will get revenge for Uncle Chu." I did not know what Shen Youchu meant by revenge. I only knew that not long afterward, Song Qian was exposed for dating 10 women at once in college and getting expelled after failing all his major courses. He never even earned a degree. I never saw Song Qian again after that. I had thought that for the rest of my life, I would never cross paths with Liu Ruyan again. Until 3 months later, Liu Ruyan came to my studio, looking haggard and worn down. "Chu Ci, I know I was wrong. I truly regret it. Only now do I realize you are the one I have always loved. You love me so much too. We can start over. We have to." Watching her sob helplessly, I only kept my distance, staring at her without expression. "Liu Ruyan, it is too late. We are over. We cannot go back to the way things were. You should leave." At that, she looked as though she had been struck by lightning. But she still tried to say something. Then a gentle voice called out, "Chu Ci, I am here to take you to dinner." Shen Youchu had arrived. I quickly went to her side and complained, "You are late today. Your punishment is buying me Japanese food." All right, whatever you want." We turned to leave, but I looked back one last time and dismissed Liu Ruyan. "Leave. I have my own life now. Please do not come looking for me again." She stared at Shen Youchu and me, lost in thought. Finally, she only whispered, "I am sorry." Then she left. She never appeared before me again. Shen Youchu glanced at my arm linked with hers and reminded me, "She has already left." I raised an eyebrow. "What? You do not want me holding your arm? Then I will let go." As I spoke, I pretended to release her. She hurriedly held my hand in place. "No, you had better never let go for the rest of your life." 6 months later, Shen Youchu and I officially got married. At our grand wedding, I slipped a ring onto her finger. As everyone watched in confusion, I walked over to Xiao and lifted her into my arms. On this joyous day, I want to announce something important. I want to adopt Xiao as my daughter. But first, I need to ask Xiao what she thinks. "Xiao, can Uncle Chi be your daddy?" Xiao threw her arms around me. She burst into loud sobs. "That is wonderful. Xiao has a daddy again." Thunderous applause erupted from the crowd. They all knew Xiao's story, seeing that Xiao now had a happy, loving family. They were sincerely happy for her. After we got married, Shen Youchu and I went on a 2-month honeymoon. When we returned, she sighed that 2 months had been too short. We had not had enough time alone together. I looked at her with a smile. "We have the rest of our lives. Just do not get tired of me by then." How could I? Being lovey-dovey with you for a lifetime still would not be enough. When we got home, our daughter pouted and threw herself into my arms to complain. "Daddy, you are finally back." Xiao almost thought Mommy and Daddy did not want me anymore. How could that be? Xiao is so adorable. How could Mommy and Daddy ever leave you behind? The day after we returned, Shen Youchu threw herself back into her busy work. That evening, when she came home from work, she mysteriously pulled me aside. She told me Liu Ruyan's company was being liquidated after bankruptcy. So, she looked into what had happened to Liu Ruyan. I rolled my eyes at her. "Why are you so nosy?" She gave a mischievous laugh, then spilled the whole story at once. After Song Qian's scandal was exposed, he kept urging Liu Ruyan to transfer her assets into his name. He said it did not matter whose name they were under. They were family after all. But as soon as Liu Ruyan transferred them, Song Qian sold them off. When he heard the company was about to collapse, Song Qian claimed he was going back home for a few days, then vanished without a trace with the assets. Later, Liu Ruyan hired someone to track down Song Qian. She immediately went to confront him. When she found Song Qian, he was still sleeping with his childhood sweetheart. Liu Ruyan broke down and wept on the spot. She took Song Qian and his childhood sweetheart to court. In the end, both were sentenced to prison, sewing uniforms behind bars. My daughter and I cracked sunflower seeds beside her, listening with great interest. When Shen Youchu finished telling us, Xiao asked, "Is that all?" "That is all. That is everything." My daughter and I exchanged a look. We silently took our sunflower seeds to the sofa to watch a TV drama. I did not ask anything further. After all, Liu Ruyan was now just someone who meant nothing to me. Watching a show was far more worthwhile. The end.